Okay guys, so in this video we're going to finish up the Wheelie Good lessons. We're going to save some files for 3D printing. Now I've decided I'm going to bulk 3D print these just for speed, but I do need the files from you in order to do that. So I appreciate some of you will have done video 2 and completed the tyre as well, in which case you want to save 2 files, one for the wheel and one for the tyre, because I'm going to print the tyre in flexible, like rubbery filament, and I'm going to print the wheel in like a rigid plastic. So anyway, what you want to do is you want to open the part in question, and you want to, if you have an assembly of parts, by the way, let's just so yeah, sorry, what I've done here is I've just opened up my assembly. Let me just save this, sorry, where I had all of the various parts saved. So let me just put that, ignore all this. I've just got to get it done, third form. Okay, so I'm assuming some of you will have only got as far as making the tyre, the wheel. Some of you will have done the wheel and the tyre, something like this. Now, if you happen to be in the assembly and you have both of them together, for you to save it for 3D printing, you first need to open each part in its own window. And you do that by right-clicking on it and choosing this one, Open Part. Now, what that should do is open the tyre in a separate window, okay? And I just want you to go File, Save As. And now you are going to go onto your computer, and down here on the left should be something called This PC. You should have a drive called K. This might be familiar, and you're going to save it in Students. Students save here 2023-24. Your third form, you are in this case my class, but look for your teacher here. So I'm going to do the group I've got today is 9D-GCDT1. 9DGC1, that's probably these guys, and I'd like you to save it in there. It's very important that you come here and choose STL. If you don't change it to STL format, I won't be able to print it, and call it your name and tyre. So I'm going to call it Rob W tyre, okay? And click save. Make sure it's in that folder, students 23 third form, the name of your teacher, saved as an STL, and then give it your name and tyre or wheel. Tyre or wheel is how I'm going to determine whether I print it in rubber or plastic. Anyway, save that. You'll know you've done it right because it'll go into this mesh and click yes. Good, good, good. You can click the little X up here, not the big X, the little X, to go back to the assembly, and then do the same with the wheel. So open it, File, Save As. If you get a message, just click Save As. And again, make sure it is in K drive, students, 23-24, third form, your class, choose STL, you have to scroll down, and call this your name, Rob Wheel this time, okay? If I've got both of those files, then I will be able to print them for you. Make sure you click yes, all good. Okay, click the X, come back to the assembly. If you didn't do an assembly because you just did the wheel, then fine. What we're going to do now is we're going to make a drawing. This is the final stage of this project. So with your assembly or your individual wheel open, go to File, Make Drawing from Assembly. Now, a drawing is something that an engineer might give to a company to manufacture a part from. It's a bit like a blueprint, a plan. So we're going to do ours on A4 landscape. So choose A4 landscape as your template. Click OK. And it will load up with a screen looking a bit like this. Now, you're going to choose a view to start from. So I would pick one of these views on the right that shows the front of the wheel. So I'm going to choose right view. Okay, and I'm just going to click and drag it out onto the screen. Okay. Now you'll see once you've drawn it, if you move your mouse without clicking, can you see if I move to the right, it gives me a right view. If I move to the bottom, it gives me a bottom view. If I move diagonally, I get like a sort of 3D view. I'd like you to choose at least 3 other views. So one to the right, one from above, and maybe a 3D view. Now I'm going to pick, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Let's choose that one there. Okay, good. When you're done placing views, by the way, you press the tick over here to confirm it. Right. Now, you can take, if you click and sort of drag the box around this 3D view, you can bring it over here. And what we're going to do is change the scale of our drawings a little bit. Now, I'm going to get rid of this stupid box on the right here because it's annoying me. So this box over here called Sheet Format, if you right-click and choose Delete, just yes. Okay, we've got rid of all the labels around the outside. That looks a bit better, a bit cleaner. We're now going to click on your first drawing you placed, and we're going to come down and adjust the scale. So I'm going to use a custom scale, and let's do 1:1. Now that is actual size. So because this is on A3, A4 paper, if we printed this out, your wheel, when 3D printed, should fit exactly over this template, okay? So I've adjusted the scale to actual size, and we can also adjust the views. Now, just working on this 3D view, double click on it, and you'll see we've got different viewpoints we can choose. We can show hidden detail with dotted lines. We can do that. We can have it shaded in, okay, or unshaded. I'm going to choose shaded with edges for the 3D view because I think it looks cool. Okay, and then I want you to pick just one of your side views. Doesn't matter which. So let's pick this one. Double click on that view and choose, let's show hidden edges. So we can see like the wheel shape inside of it. All good. Okay. Now this is just a basic intro, so we're going to put some crude dimensions on this, and then we're going to save it to your OneNote as kind of your evidence for today. So to put dimensions on, and like, you know, measurements that someone could follow, you do that under the annotation tab and you choose smart dimension. So I just want you to put some key measurements. So I'm going to go click on the outside of my circle and measure my diameter of 60. Someone might want to know how big that hole in the middle is for drilling it, so I'm going to do 80. I'm going to do the diameter of the tire, which is 74. I'm going to maybe measure, like, let's just do a precise one. So I'm going to go from that point to that point there. It's a very precise number, 4.42. And maybe that point to that point there. And then maybe what might be useful is like that point and that point there. Look, someone could have a reasonable chance of making those cutouts. Okay, so I'm not really bothered what you do. All I'd like to do is dimension several views to show you can do it, because this is a skill you'd have to do next year in DT. If you were presenting your final coursework piece, you'd have to make drawings of it like this and put them in your folder. So I also want you to maybe put the width of the tire on here. Oh, did that a bit wrong. So just press escape or control Z if you get it wrong. So dimension, I want to go from there to there, 24. And maybe I want to tell people how wide the grooves are. So click, click. Did that wrong. Let's try that again. Sometimes you've got to zoom in. So from there, zoom in more to there. There we go. So our grooves are 1.14 millimeters thick. Okay. Quite often we put other information on drawings as well. So we might put notes, and I'd like you to put a couple of notes on. So you'll see we've got this notes tool. Click that. And it takes a little while to load. I like to choose this one because it allows you to draw an arrow and then type some text. So I'm going to click that. And what I'm going to do is you can see what it's doing. I'm going to point to the tire, come up, and then type what I want. So I'm going to put TPU rubber 3D printed tire. Okay, and you can move these around afterwards, and then click the tick when you're done. And then look, you can move your labels around, and I'm going to put another note on here. I'm going to point to the actual wheel itself, and I'm going to go 3D printed PLA wheel. Okay. And this is again what you would do if you were presenting your plans to someone to build. The other thing you might want to do under annotation is just to put some simple labels on. So you can see you can just put a plain note. So just take it back to, I can't remember what you do here. I think you just click that one and you can just type. So you could put top view. Let's put another one over here. This would be front view. And this would be right side view. Okay. And then the only other thing we'd put on a drawing, sorry, just press escape and delete. Just press delete on the keyboard by selecting if you want to get rid of stuff, is you might put some information on about who drew it and the dimensions you're using. So let's put a note on there saying, just down here at the bottom, drawn by R. Winter, 1st of 5th, 24, star all dimensions in millimeters. Okay, good. Right, now that's a very, very basic representation of how you do it, but that is the kind of thing you present in a coursework folder along with any other parts you'd made. and you would then get marks for this because it shows that you can communicate an idea, provide technical information for it to be manufactured. That's what this is all about. Okay, so just do your best on this. General nice presentation similar to this. When you've done it, you can save it. Take a screenshot of it if you wish by Windows Shift S. That's the easiest way to get it into OneNote. Or if you want it to be high res, you can save it as a JPEG image if you wanted to print it. So all I'll say is if you want to save as a picture, go Save As, choose JPEG, and there are some settings. If you go to Options, you need to do this to make it come out high quality. You want Print Capture, set DPI to 300, change it to the size of paper you're using, so A4, landscape, scale to fit. As long as you got those settings and click OK, when you save this, so let's call it drawing of wheel and tire, it should work. Okay, I hope I'm still recording. I pressed a button on my microphone. Right. Okay, that is the end of the video. Put that on your OneNote. I really hope my mic was working, or I've got to do this all again.